Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. I've got some pretty explosive rumors swirling around the NFC West. And if you're a Seahawks fan, you're going to want to pay close attention because these could be game changers. Word on the street is that the Arizona Cardinals might be shopping one of their biggest playmakers, Budda Baker, right to us here in Seattle. And let me tell you, if this trade actually happens, it could be a total game changer for our defense and our playoff chances this season. So what's the buzz? Insiders are whispering that the Seahawks are in serious talks with the Cardinals about acquiring Baker. The deal? It's believed to include a second-round pick and a fifth-round pick from Seattle's side. Now that might sound like a lot, but considering what Baker brings to the table, it's a steal. The Cardinals are currently sitting at 4-9, and they're in a full rebuild mode, especially with a lot of cap space. About $85 million free, so they're prioritizing a rebuild that focuses heavily on their young quarterback, Kyler Murray, and other key players like Harrison Jr. Let's talk about Baker's impact. He's a 29-year-old safety with a resume that demands respect. Over his career, he's accumulated 878 tackles, 10 interceptions, and he's been a top-tier coverage guy with a lifetime PFF grade of 91.4. That's elite, and it shows how versatile and reliable he is in the back end. Plus, he averages 7-8 tackles per game, which is a solid stat for a safety who can do so much more than just cover. He's a true playmaker. Last season, he recorded 125 tackles, putting him among the top 3 safeties in the league, along with 4 interceptions and 12 passes defensed. His overall PFF grade for 2025 was 89.2, second best among safeties, and his coverage grade was a staggering 92.6, showing that he's not just a run stopper but also a real threat in pass coverage. Now, think about how Baker's addition could elevate our secondary. The Seahawks have been doing pretty well lately, but adding a player of Baker's caliber could take us to the next level. He's the kind of guy who can reduce the number of deep passes against us, cutting down from around 200 yards per game allowed to just about 160. That's a 23% increase in efficiency, a massive boost for our pass defense. Remember the impact that Minkah Fitzpatrick had when he was traded to the Dolphins back in 2025. That trade elevated their secondary, and Baker could do the same for us. He's a game changer, a true X-factor, and let's not forget his playoff performance. In Week 14 of this season, Baker posted a PFF grade of 95.6, which is just insane for a safety. His presence on the field would likely increase our win probability against air attacks by around 21%. That might not sound huge, but in critical moments, especially in the playoffs, that kind of difference could be the deciding factor. The Seahawks are already on the cusp of another deep playoff run, and adding Baker would give us a real boost, one that could propel us all the way to Super Bowl LX. Now, looking at the odds, the Seahawks are currently favored at around plus 600 to plus 400 to win it all. If we manage to land Baker, those odds could tighten even further. Why? Because he's not just a safety, he's a difference maker. His career INT rate of 7.5% per target in the playoffs makes him a real threat to turn the tide, especially in high-stakes moments. A safety like Baker, who can patrol the deep middle and provide that security blanket, is exactly what a team looking to make a serious Super Bowl push needs. The vision here is clear. Adding Baker would transform our already talented backend into something truly elite. Think of him as a dynamic modern-day Troy Polamalu, someone who can play anywhere in the secondary, make plays in coverage, and blitz when needed. His versatility is exactly what we need to contend with the best offenses in the league. Plus, with about $62 million in cap space left, the Seahawks can comfortably absorb his contract and still bolster other positions, like the running back room or offensive line, after making such a significant defensive upgrade. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but what about the Cardinals? Are they really willing to sell? Well, the truth is, they're in a full rebuild, and their management has made it clear they're prioritizing the future over the present. Trading away Baker makes sense for them. They get draft capital, possibly to rebuild their roster more quickly, especially with their focus on developing Kyler Murray and building a stronger front seven, especially on the defensive line after allowing 27 points per game this season. They're selling versatility and leadership in Baker, and for us, that's exactly what we need. But let's be real here. If this deal goes down, it's more than just a roster move. It's a message to the rest of the league. The Seahawks are serious about contending and aren't afraid to make bold moves. This kind of trade could shake up not only our division, but the entire NFC playoff picture. Imagine a Seahawks secondary featuring Tariq Woolen, Devin Witherspoon, and now, Budda Baker anchoring the back end. That's a secondary that can match up with anyone, and Baker's presence would bring a level of confidence and physicality that could put us over the top. And for the Seahawks fans out there, you know how important it is to build a team that can not just make the playoffs, but dominate when it counts. Our offensive weapons are already impressive, and Geno Smith has been playing at a high level all season. But football is a team sport, and defense wins championships. Bringing in a player like Baker would send a message to the league that we're all in, that we're here to compete for that Lombardi trophy once again, and that we're willing to do whatever it takes to get there. Now, I know that trades like this don't happen overnight, and there are always questions about cap space, team chemistry, and whether the player will adapt to a new system. But Baker's track record suggests he's a pro's pro, someone who can step into our defense and make an immediate impact. Plus, the Seahawks coaching staff, led by Pete Carroll, has a history of maximizing talent and integrating big-name players seamlessly. Adding Baker would be a strategic move to bolster our chances, especially with the playoffs approaching and every game counting. Looking ahead, if this trade goes through, it could be one of the most impactful moves of the season. It would send shockwaves through the NFC West, and the Seahawks would be viewed not just as contenders, but as serious Super Bowl favorites. Baker's leadership and playmaking ability could be the missing piece that elevates us from a good team to a championship-winning squad. Fans, I've got to tell you, this kind of move would make the Seahawks a nightmare for offenses, and that's exactly what we want heading into the postseason. So, stay tuned, because if this deal happens, it's going to be one of those moments that fans will be talking about for years. The Seahawks are always looking to improve, always trying to push that needle just a little further, and right now, the buzz is that we're about to make a bold statement. The NFC West is already tough, but with Baker in our back pocket, it gets even tougher. We're talking about a team with a shot to dominate both offensively and defensively, and I, for one, can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Are you excited about the idea of Baker in the blue and green? Do you think it's enough to push us over the edge and make a real Super Bowl run? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks organization. Remember, football is a community, and your voice helps shape the future of this team. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned, keep cheering loud, and let's continue to support our Seahawks all the way to the top. Go Hawks!